Hi again, math scholars. We're back for our linear equations review, and this time we're going to talk about graphing linear equations in slope-intercept form. So you'll remember from the last video, slope-intercept form is when the equation is y equals a constant, m, times x, plus or minus another constant, b. So let's go ahead and go through our step list and do two quick examples. So first we're going to construct a coordinate plane, and you can see at the bottom of my page that's already been done for us. We should label both the x and the y axis. So I'm going to do that right now. I know my up and down or vertical axis is x. My side to side or horizontal axis. Oh my gosh, I did that backwards. My vertical axis is y. Sorry. My side to side or horizontal axis is x. Helps when my words match what I'm drawing. And it also says we should use an appropriate scale. Am I counting by ones? Am I counting by twos? When you're given a pre-constructed graph like this, if there are no numbers on it and you don't number it, I will assume you're counting by one. So it is a good practice if you're counting by anything other than one, definitely label. But in this case, we should also label, and I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So 1, 2, 3, all the way across. And then the same thing vertically. 1, 2, 3, all the way up. This way, anybody looking at my graph can tell what I'm counting by. The next thing we need to do, step 2, we need to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to color code these. I'm going to make y-intercept green for our equation. This piece of the equation is our y-intercept. And then I'm going to make the slope red. So this here corresponds to the coefficient on the x. That's our slope. So we need both those pieces of information to graph. And the first thing we do, the very first thing we plot in step 3, is we plot that y-intercept on the y-axis. Plot the y-intercept on the y-axis and label this point. So you should write the ordered pair next to the point. For y-intercepts, that ordered pair is always 0, comma, and then whatever that constant b is. At the end of step 3, you've already got a point on your graph. The next step is to use the slope to find the second point on the line. So remember from our last video, slope is rise over run. So it tells us how much to go up or down, and then how much to go forward. We also remember that if slope in the equation, that m, is not a fraction, we assume that the bottom of that fraction, the run, is 1, meaning go forward 1. To figure out whether we go up or down, we look at the sign on the slope. So if m is positive, we're going to go up. If m is negative, we're going to go down. So the very last step, once you've used that set of directions, your slope, to find your second point, you're going to use a ruler or a straight edge, anything that's nice and straight, to connect those dots and draw the line. You should use the slope from your second point to find a third point and verify that it lands on that line. I'm also going to write something else here. You should label your line with the equation. Meaning you should write the equation next to the line, either just on the edge of the graph or along the line like I've seen some of you doing in class. Okay, in our next video, we'll go ahead and do 2 examples so you can see what this process looks like. I'll see you in the next video.